Never, never, never give up. Be a student of success. Learn everything you can from those who have been the most successful. A beautiful quote by Mr. Abhishek Shukla to begin at today's session. Let's begin at today's session in a lighter mode. Students, as you all know, that the situations are little bit tough, but as a successful person or a successful student of CIS, never give up. Try to learn each and everything from the contents sent by your mentors, your teachers. We at Cambridge International School, Dasua, we are working for you people so that you can take something out of our lessons. And if you feel any difficulty at any point of time, you can contact to your subject teacher, your class teacher, your coordinator at any point of time. We are here to serve you. Now, the same thing, the same question. How are you all? Okay, I hope you all are fine, and along with that, you all are focusing on your studies. So, without wasting much more time on that, let's begin at today's session. But before that, recapitulate the previous lesson. Yeah, recapitulation. In our previous session, we learned about peripheral devices, the devices which actually extend the functionality of computer system, where we discuss about input devices, output devices and storage devices. And among the peripheral devices, we missed out the memory unit, the computer's memory. Because of the time shortage or the time limits, we missed that. We'll cover this topic by today. In topic of the day, we'll discuss about the computer memory, basic computer operations. We'll discuss about operating system and the types of operating system. Let's begin with the very first topic of the day, computer memory. Memory, the one and the foremost thing in technology and in terms of human being. Like we as a human, we have a brain to think and to give respond to the particular situations and to store the data for a long time depend upon the memory of our own self. The computer memory is an extremely important component of the computer system. It is the ability to store data that makes a computer different from other machines. Like fan is a machine, AC is a machine, your appliances used in kitchen like microwave oven is a machine, but they cannot store data for a large or for a future. So it's the computer which make it different from other machines. All the data, instruction and software programs are stored in the computer's memory unit. The computer memory is mainly of two types, the primary and the secondary memory. Let us discuss about both of them. Primary memory. The memory is similar to the human brain. Computer's primary memory is the memory that directly accessible to the CPU, and the primary memory is also known as computer's main memory or internal memory, and can further be divided into two main types: RAM and ROM. RAM, random access memory, is the main memory unit in computer system. Whenever a computer is in use, the operating system, application programs, and the data currently in use are kept in the RAM. Like you are watching this video right now, it is going through the RAM until or unless you save the data on the RAM into the secondary storage device, which we learn in today's session. Until or unless you store this data into the secondary storage, the data is running on the RAM. And RAM is also known as read-write memory, as we can write into it as well, read it randomly, and RAM is temporary or volatile because the contents of RAM are cleared or erased when the computer is turned off due to any of the reason. If accidentally computer or laptop turned off, the data on the RAM will be wiped out. The next among the primary memory is ROM, read-only memory. ROM or read-only memory, unlike the RAM, is a non-volatile memory. It does not lose data even when the power is turned off. ROMs are used for storing programs that are essential for the working of a computer. For example, the ROM contains the Bootstrap program, which is very much important to run our computer system. Bootstrap program that starts up a computer and loads its operating system into the RAM. As you can see on the screen, the above one is the ROM chips, and the below given picture is the screenshot of the computer system which will boot up our computers. And the types of ROMs are PROM, EEPROM, EEPROM. PROM means programmable read-only memory. EEPROM means erasable programmable read-only memory. And EEPROM means electronically erasable programmable read-only memory. Let's move on to our next segment. Secondary memory. It refers to the storage devices such as hard disk, USB flash drives, CDs, DVDs, pen drives, and many more nowadays that are used with the computer to store data permanently. Unlike the primary memory, the secondary is not accessed directly by the CPU. Instead, data accessed from the secondary memory is first loaded into the RAM, which is a primary memory, and is then sent to the CPU for processing. This makes accessing data from the secondary memory a relatively slower process. Secondary memory is non-volatile, which means the data in the secondary memory can store for a long until or unless the data is deleted or the data is accidentally removed from the devices, meaning it retains its data with or without electrical power. Therefore, we can use it to store the operating system, other software programs, and user files permanently. Performing basic computer operations. Before we learn how to use the computer, we need to learn some basic operations on it, like how to start and to shut down computer properly. I know many of you are shocked to listen to this, but this is really very important to know that how to start and how to shut down our computer system. Here on the screen you can see the steps to start computer and the steps to shut down computer. Let's start with steps to start computer. Press the on off button on the UPS to switch it on. Press the start button on the CPU. Switch on the monitor's power button to switch it on, and then log it to the computer by providing the correct username and password if it's asked for it. Then come to steps for shutting down computer. Firstly, close all the programs that are running at the back end. Then click on the start button, point on to the shut down button and click on shut down option. At last, press the on off button on the UPS to switch off the system. This is the way how we can shut down our computer system and how we can start our computer system. Let's move on to our next topic of the day, operating system. An operating system, abbreviated as OS, is a system software that helps us to operate a computer system. It is the most important software that runs on a computer. The operating system gets loaded into the memories as soon as we start the computer, and it resides there all the time till we switch it off. MS-DOS, MS Windows, Mac OS, Linux and Unix are some examples of operating system. The OS performs a number of tasks to help us work on the computer. Let us learn about the task performed by operating system. The OS controls and coordinates the internal working of the computer. The functions of all input, output and storage devices and CPU is controlled by operating system. The OS acts as an interface between the user and the computer hardware devices, allowing them to communicate with each other. The OS provides a platform to the application software to run on the computer. No software can run on the computer. It does not have an operating system. So, the operating system is the foremost software which we need to install first on the computer system. The types of operating system. There are many types of operating systems like GUI operating system and CUI operating system, single user operating system and multi-user operating system, proprietary operating system and open source operating system, etc. Let us learn about three commonly used operating systems: MS-DOS, MS Windows and Linux. MS-DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System. MS-DOS, or simply DOS, is a CUI based operating system. CUI means user interface, or this CUI stands for character user interface or command user interface. DOS is text-based operating system in which commands are given in the form of successive text lines known as the command lines. It has a command line shell that helps OS to convert the text command into the appropriate functions. It is similar to as the click of mouse, and the screen of DOS operating system are looking like this. You can see the blue screen given on the side of the text. Next type of operating system is MS Windows, Microsoft Windows. Microsoft Windows is a family of graphical user interface, GUI. It is a graphical based operating system. The term Windows collectively describes any or all of the several generations of Microsoft operating system products. The company first introduced the Windows operating system in November 1985 as an add-on to MS-DOS in response to the growing interest in graphical user interface. Graphical user interface is that where we have icons, where we have logos, where we have predefined text. We need to simply click over them to make our work easier. Windows was also the first operating system to use plug and play feature. Since then, it has only gained in popularity, virtually controlling the market with its later addition, Windows 10. Now, come on to the last topic, or the third type of operating system, which is Linux. Linux is an open source operating system. This means that it is freely distributed. It can be installed on a variety of devices including PCs, laptops, mobile and tablet devices. The core of Linux is the Linux kernel, was combined with the GNU tools developed by Richard Stallman in 1983 to create the operating system we know now as Linux. Since Linux code is freely available to everyone, different software companies add some extra feature to it and then distribute the resultant product as their own brand. Popular Linux OS distributions include Ubuntu, Fedora, Red Hat and OpenSUSE. Here you can see the term is written open source operating system. We have Microsoft products, but they are not open source. Here in Linux, we can modify the predefined codes as per our own requirement, and then we can give the name as by our own choice. Now, that's the end of today's session. Let's quickly conclude the chapter. What we discussed in our today's session is we discussed about the memory units of the computer, the basic computer operations including switch on, switch off, operating systems, and types of operating system. Now the time to say goodbye. Take care of your health and have a nice day.